And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Long Dark Interloper, where, assuming we can safely do it, we're going to try to go back out to Coastal Highway. It probably won't be this stream, but probably next stream. We're going to try to do the active trade we have, which that doesn't actually look that bad. 20 for firewood. Okay, that'll take a while to gather up. 60 cedar firewood, not that bad. Another 60 cedar firewood, not that bad. 50 harvestable plants. If we don't run around grabbing what is it? Rose hips. Rose hips are pretty easy to do because you get like 8 a pop. Though 50 is still quite a lot of them. I'll have to run around and grab those. And the raw animal, probably by the time we're back up there, one of the nearby bears will be dead or will be up, so we can kill them again. And a bear carries more than 20 kilograms of meat on them. Or we can fish. Fishing is also an option. But yeah, definitely in a much healthier condition state after that rest. The question now is how productive can we be on getting back to Coastal Highway where... Well, to be fair, at Coastal Highway we've got massive stockpiles of food, we got equipment to repair our equipment. Because yeah, as we go, to be fair, I might actually try to get out and take a stop over in the ravine to harvest bunnies and venison for repairs. Oh, it's blistering really cold out. Lost that much warmth just sitting out there for a couple seconds. I think we're going to take some condition damage. Like this is probably like the worst time. Well, the worst non-blizzard time to be heading out. I've got one. I got like 1 coal. I know we have coal in here. And in the past I was planning on leaving behind in case we ever need to do foraging, but can always try to drag more coal out here. Grab some coal, because we're going to need it, I think, to get warm or stay warm as we go along. So, gee, really just the one piece? I would expect there to be more. Up at the furnace, that makes sense. Now, still a little disappointed with how little coal we got here. Seeing as I'm nicking it and not bringing more in, but... maybe that'll be what we try to bring next time as winter coal. We can do that, assuming it is safe enough to try to wander away. Does immediately look promising. Don't see any wolves in our immediate path. Yeah, I think the next stop, and probably where we end the stream, will be getting back to the camp office. So we're basically going to do some variation of walk/sprint across the muskeg. There's the meat pile I was looking for earlier. We don't need it now. Wolf is behind us, so he's not a problem. And we got, well, I got the 4 pieces of coal or whatever for traveling the muskeg. Well, traveling to the camp office. So we will possibly stop to warm up a couple times. But at the same time, I do want to focus on just getting there. And I suppose sprinting to some degree is fine, because that will get us the fatigue down, so we can use the best bed in the game. I suppose I've got the carrying capacity. We should be bringing things. Let's see them, because we've got 50 harvestable plants we need to drop off.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
We have worked out that cattail heads don't count. So, harvestable plants. I don't think I've checked to see if cattails work. That's maybe a good question. Might be the cattail is the portion that counts in that setup. Coming up and over blockage here, and there's usually a good place I find to warm up just on the other side. There's got a reasonable amount of wind shelter. Whoops. Took that a little aggressively, apparently.
Come on.
Okay, and we're minus 16, so to save some weight, we're gonna put 16 sticks in the fire. It's probably 18 sticks in the fire, but close enough. That was a sprained wrist, okay. So no archery on the way back, but we probably wasn't going to do archery on the way back anyway. Interesting, got colder while we were sitting here. That's, not ideal. Get a warming up bonus from drinking hot Birchbark tea. well, some healing. And then we're going to try basically to sprint over to the boxcar, I think. The lit torch out if the weather will play along. And then warm up there before making the last jaunt over to the trapper's cabin.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
I may try to clear the
Can't feel my
sprained
feet.
wrist at the boxcar. Well, because that's a predicted fire, we can throw the coal in it and get it warm enough. Well, throw 2 pieces of coal in it, have it plenty warm enough, and then sleep for 2 hours to get the wrist sprain to go away.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah, we're going to take position damage as we run over the boxcar. But trying to stop anywhere else is a risk of having wind come up and blow out the fire. Basically waste a bunch of fuel. At least right now with the Olympic torching that the Olympic torching that I'm doing. If the wind comes up, we're just going to lose the torch, or lose the ignition on the torch, which is the cost of a match. And the trade we're about to go do, if everything goes according to plan, is 120 matches. Like I can waste a match or 2. I don't need to be doing this Olympic torch relay to save the matches, but for the trader, I probably did. So. suppose it won't be this episode. We can check in the next episode. Well, whenever we get to the coastal highway, if harvestable plants include the cattail itself. I know it doesn't include the head, because we've checked that already. But if it includes the cattail, then we've got some other options for trying to get the harvest rather than mushrooms and rose hips. Rose hips is probably the best. Just pick up 80 a location. Why is the bear in the way? So that's the bear. It's annoying because it was literally between me and where I want to stop to warm up. Be too hard to avoid. I'm not wearing the crampons, so I do need to be a little bit careful of thin ice. Because we got a lot less time on thin ice. I think I'll probably leave the tool belt on display in hindsight. Because the extra carrying capacity is nice from a tool perspective, but... well, I suppose it depends on where I am and what I'm going to be doing. If I'm going anywhere with thin ice, we should probably be wearing the crampons. Okay, this place will be warm once we get the fire going with the double coal in it. In 2 hours of sleep will be more than enough to get the character fully warm.
Come on.
Actually, how cold are we? Can we get away with just the coal? Stick. No, we're gonna put the... well. We'll get away with a couple sticks. Get it up to 2 hours. It'll last a little bit longer than 2 hours because we're cold. Right, the raw temperature before the fire is cold. Sufficiently cold to get it to last longer. Did the weather get worse while I was sleeping? Oh, I think it got worse. The question is, did it get worse?
Looks like I survived another night.
I think it got worse and then it got better. Okay, so the fire's 23 degrees. We're at 1. So that is implying that it is negative 22 out there. The current equipment. Minutes in the barrel. 2 degrees. Okay. It's simple like the worst 3 torches, because we're going to pull that many out of this fire. Before we leave. So staying under the carrying capacity hill will help a little bit. Yeah, it's cold. I'm not sure how much of this is in early morning and how much of this is that our equipment is pretty damaged. Or both. So that's part of the point of coming back here is we are going to basically do a whole major repair before we go back out to the Detail 3. Yeah, we're going to do some sprinting here. Because otherwise I think we'll get cold before we get to Trappers. Whereas if we sprint over to Trappers, I think when we get there we can sleep until the warmer part of the afternoon. In the really good bed. And that should allow us to be safe enough to travel across the ravine area. The ravine area's got a few deer and a few rabbits, so we'll probably take the time to hunt some rabbits, hunt some deer for their hides. Because we got deerskin boots and rabbit skin gloves that both need repairs. And there's a decent possibility as we go around I might find places where I've left those behind. But finding places where I've left those behind and recognizing that we're going to go through like 2 each, right? And it might be good to have a stockpile for the future after we go through those 2. So making like another 2 deer hide and another 2 rabbits is not a bad idea.
Need to find some place to escape this cold.
There's another area with potential birch bark. As you can see by the birch trees. And I think the birch bark is something we turn in, so we don't rush to disassemble that. We can drop that off as part of the 50 harvestable plants.
Never felt so cold in my life.
This is a place where we could hunt for bunnies. We're not gonna hunt for bunnies here. Okay, at this point I don't need this torch anymore. We'll grab one of the bear meat slabs, and we'll pop in here. Okay, so what do we have? We got pickles here, got a potato here. Got cured guts. Got a moose hide.
Something's gotta go.
which actually, interestingly enough, is not particularly useful. Because you do not repair moose hide satchel with moose hide. You repair it with cured leather. You also harvest it into cured leather. So one of the ways you can make cured leather is make the moose hide satchel and disassemble it. We're not that desperate to do that. This is a decent place. We definitely don't need as many number of flares. We'll leave a bunch of flares here. Save some weight that way. Yeah, we only have the one hide. Okay. So let's go ahead and eat and hydrate. It is a little early episode if we were to end the episode here. Might try to make the trip across Mystery Lake then. Let's see how the weather looks. Oh, one thing we can do before we head out. Heavy hammer. I got something for you to hammer. So we want to, we can make some acorn coffee. We're not necessarily going to do that anytime soon, but it's a thing we can do. Okay, this is decently nice weather. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? We're low in bear meat here. I'm not going to make the trip across Mystery Lake. What we're going to do is we're going to stockpile up that pile a little bit more. Which is basically going and retrieving some meat and dragging it back. It may involve a little bit of meat cooking, we'll see. If we're going up a slope like this, it does make sense to go back to the crampons for the sure footing. I have other things in mind. Thinking that we could shoot the wolf, but like, okay, no, I can open up the gap and we can. I think we've got the sun out. No, it's just gonna be easy to shoot the wolf on even terrain. We got enough condition. I'm not scared of taking damage from the wolf if I screw up. We'll just get closer to our bear meat piles so that I can cook the wolf and the bear meat at the same time. Okay, the wind came up. And I found a safe, free angle to hide behind to get this campfire started. Yes. That was a risky activity. Because if the bear... If I wasn't stealthed and the bear realized I had just shot in the face, it was going to maul me. But, well, we're gonna be tracking a bear down. Finish this bit off. Pretty sure, given the circumstances, we can actually go ahead and pick you up. And prep this while we're waiting for the bear to die. Don't think we're gonna spend the time to harvest the bear in this one. I think we're gonna prioritize locating it, if that makes sense.
The sun's setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
You want more water. Yeah, I think I get half a liter of water out of here. Anytime. And let's see if we can find the bear. It's had more than an hour to die, so there's a decent possibility it is dead somewhere. Ideally, that's actually what we want to find. We want to find a dead bear. I don't really want to find the bear alive, after all. Sounds like a good way to find a very angry bear. Okay, this doesn't appear to be between us and the hut. Should check that hut. We might have a bear hide in the hut. That looks a rock, not the bear. Yeah, I think the problem we're going to run into right now is I don't think it's the appropriate weather. Oh, I was about to say, not the appropriate weather for the crows to find things for me, but may still be the appropriate enough weather for us to see the bear. So there's the bear. Question is it a dead bear? Does look dead. Yeah. Black bear carcass, 29% frozen. Um, yeah, we just want to know where that was. We'll come back and harvest it in the next part. I'm gonna go drop the rabbit hide off and the rabbit gut. And then we'll use that door to save for the stream, and then we'll come back. And hopefully I'll remember that we've got a bear to go harvest. Yeah. Assuming I remember, we'll harvest that bear next time, and then begin, well, continue the trip out to Coastal Highway. We don't necessarily need to cook the entire bear, because once you get everything off the bear, everything now becomes persistent. We are, in theory, on a timer to harvest it. We're not going to drag that one down for trade or whatever, so that one is just a food stockpile. And to some degree is a duplicative food stockpile, because we got the other previous bear kill, but having lots of food is always nice.
Can't feel my hands.
And I suppose when we duck, we're going to duck in here, we'll drop the two things off so I don't forget. We're going to see what we have in there. We may, for example, have like a bear hide cured already there. And then we'll do the save, and then next time we'll go over and do... I'm repeating myself. We'll go over and do the bear in the next one. We'll see how much we can get off of it before the weather goes squirrely. So the answer to do we have a bear hide here is no. If actually that pants is inferior. Okay. God, this is a could harvest the deer hide pants for the deer hide. I'm not going to. At least not yet. Yeah, no bear hide here, so we might be running a little bit low on bear hide out here in Mystery Lake. Though, it says when we go harvest that bear, that will be another one curing to replace our empty stockpiles. Okay, so I hope everyone has been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be another part up for you tomorrow. We're still running a 4-day stream cycle. So we just finished recording 4 parts. So if everything goes according to plan, the next part should be recorded for you tomorrow, or by tomorrow. Right now, the games is Long Dark, which was tonight and 4 days from now. Tomorrow will be Terraformers. The day after that will be Field of Glory Empires. I think we got like 35, 36 days left in that. Well, 35, 36 turns left in that. We're going about three to 4 turns, sometimes as low as 2 turns, apart. So if we say it's 3 turns, then that's 12 parts. So it'll be like 3 streams. Hoping to do it a little bit faster than that, which is believable to some degree, right? If we can get if we can bump off Macedonia, it'll finish real quickly. Day after that will be Victoria 3. We're going to try doing the Great Qing in 1.9. And then the 4th day, which will be the day after that, we'll be back to the Long Dark. So with that, with the schedule sort of brought up on how things are scheduled, I hope, and I suppose you can check if you're watching on YouTube, you can probably check the username for the Twitch channel is Wilcol. You can check the schedule on Twitch. I do keep it mostly up to date. And I know they're right now, I think, about 6 days ahead of you. So I just brought up the next 4 days. That should probably actually all be recorded for you by the time you're hearing this, if you're watching on YouTube. So if you're impatient and cannot wait for the next part on YouTube, you can probably go sneak over to Twitch and see what was recorded live to the Twitch audience. Though, if you're watching on YouTube, you might prefer the slightly higher quality that YouTube gets. YouTube gets the local recorded version, which I believe is recording in 1080p, whereas Twitch is getting whatever the internet throttle will handle. So, actually, to be fair, depending on the game, Twitch might technically actually, if the internet is playing ball, get a slightly higher version. But most of the time, Twitch is actually getting a worse version. Like right now, nothing's really going on bitwise, and Twitch is being throttled because my internet isn't the best. If you're watching on Twitch, the YouTube channel is WillCole100. So it's the same as the Twitch name, but with an extra 100 on the end. Any VOD that is older than 7 days should have, in theory, been edited and uploaded to YouTube and released by the time it comes down off of Twitch. So if you want to go back and see any of the earlier parts in a stream cycle that isn't, or in a game that is still going on Twitch, that is old enough that parts aren't on Twitch anymore, that's where you can go see that. And again, I think the YouTube video is, in theory, a little bit higher quality in practice. There's the odd situation where I've had encoding issues that have affected both, but most of the time it is YouTube gets the local recorded version. So with that, wish everyone the best of luck and good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.